All right. Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and I was just telling Whitney Kobrin, my guest today, that I just got off a plane from Grenada. And, it's amazing. Yesterday morning, I was paddleboarding on the ocean in Grenada. It was beautiful. It was like 90 degrees, super clear. And then we hopped on a plane, from the sailboat to the dinghy. We brought our luggage and we flew all night. So I'm a little tired today, but excited because we're going to be talking all about have lasting love. Got some stories to bring to that one today. But first before we get to Whitney and everything that she's going to bring to us today, I would like to thank our sponsor, Your Guided Health Journey. Did you know that your body speaks to you? It doesn't speak in English, it speaks in symptoms, trying to alert you to the fact that something isn't quite right as it asks you to pay attention and do something different. The problem is we are so busy we don't pay attention. Instead, we consider the symptoms to be aging or seasonal allergies or genetics and keep on going with our daily lives, ignoring the early warning signs. Your Guided Health Journey works with the entire English-speaking world to help you get to the root cause of the symptoms through having your discover your toxic load and using the power of functional medicine lab tests mailed to your home, which I have done several times, and then providing a personalized wellness protocol to guide your body back into balance and literally turn back time so you feel amazing again. Get started today by taking your free Discover Your Toxic Load quiz to learn how your body is talking to you and asking you to do things differently. And you can take that at welcome.yourguidedhealthjourney.com/your toxic load. And we will have all of those links available for you at your fingertips. So, Whitney, welcome to the show. It's so great to have you here today.
Hi, Colleen. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
She's the matchmaker here. So we're going to talk about how, having lasting love is so important. And I'll even share some of my stories over the, past week or decades or whatever that is. But I want to share a little bit that with an educational background in psychology and 15 years of professional recruiting, matchmaking, and coaching experience, Whitney now fulfills her life's purpose as a love coach for women. I feel like I should be saying the love coach, right? It sounds so cool. Her signature coaching program, Love Yourself, Love Your Life, and Have Lasting Love, incorporates holistic healing that aligns the whole self, including mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical dimensions. So, Whitney, that is pretty impressive. And we're so happy that you're here to be with us today to talk more about that, because here I was on the 48-foot sailboat. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. And this was two couples that had bought the boat together, and one of their loves didn't last. And now they're getting a divorce and they've separated. And now they're, my other friends are going to sell the boat and get their own boat and, keep sailing around the world. But you have to have that lasting love. How do we get that? How do we do that, Whitney? Come on. You got to spill a little bit of the secrets on how we find that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, there are many factors, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
There are many factors. And that's what I do, is I help people to go step by step to build a relationship that has lasting love. A lot of stuff on YouTube and on the internet is very gimmicky. Text this to get him back and 3 steps to drive him wild. And when you're just kind of doing these fake gimmicky things that you read about or heard about, it doesn't really set a foundation for long lasting, authentic, deep love. So some of the main things that I have found, one is communication. Obviously, we've got to have good communication in our relationships.
Yeah.
And there are so many ways that this can go wrong. People get upset and overreact. They're not responding consciously anymore. So that's one of the biggest things, which really, if you back it up, it's about how to stay conscious and present yourself.
Yeah. Whitney, when I married my husband back when I was 36 years old, I had just decided in my life that I was going to be me, that I was going to be fulfilled with everything I wanted in life, that I was going to do things the way I wanted to do it, be the mother that I wanted to be. And it was like when I made that decision and turned that, knob on, or that trigger, that's what kind of opened up that portal for me to be able to be loved by this other person, because truly I didn't love myself prior to that piece. And isn't that part so important, that if we don't love ourselves enough, then we don't respect ourselves enough to deserve and really align ourselves with the respect of another person. And that's where I think communication is a big key, is the respect that you have for each other. So talk us through a little bit about that.
Yes, and it is so important that we love ourselves. We are limited in how much we can love others by how much we love ourselves. And most people don't really fully understand what self-love is.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of information out there, almost too much information, and it can be misleading and misguiding. I've talked to women that say, well, I love myself. I take care of myself. I do bubble baths and manicures, like, of course. But as soon as they make the smallest mistake, they immediately are critical and berating themselves. God, how could I do that? I'm so stupid. It's all my fault. I'm such an idiot. Huh? That's not self-love. So when you're questioning whether you love yourself enough or what your self-love is, think about it in terms of a relationship, right? Haven't you ever been in a relationship where the communication's not great, or it's not a great relationship, and you're like, but I love him, but we love each other, but the relationship's not good. Well,
Yeah.
if the relationship's not good, then it's not good.
Yeah.
People love each other and break up all the time because they can't figure out how to make the relationship work. So I like to think about, I have a relationship with myself. How do I communicate with myself? How do I spend time with myself? How do I talk to myself? How do I motivate myself? How do I nurture and care for myself?
Yeah.
Do I listen to myself? There's so many factors that it really is simple, but it's not always easy. And I love to surround myself with people like you, Colleen, that are, overflowing with self-love, because it's so magnetic and powerful and needed. But I work with a lot of women that just aren't there yet. And what I have found is they can get there. Like, that's my favorite part about what I do, is watching them go through this transformation over the weeks or months that we work together, and just seeing their whole demeanor change, which is super cool. So yeah, we have to start with ourselves, loving ourselves, having a good relationship with ourselves, even communication, which we talked about first.
Yeah.
You have to be able to know what you feel and be comfortable speaking up about what you feel and what you need.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't have a great relationship with yourself, you're going to struggle even at that first step.
Yeah. Having lasting love starts with yourself. It starts with your belief and worth, your boundaries, those types of things. And the communication is so key, because when you respect that other person, you respect their opinion. And so it doesn't mean that because he's a male, I'm a female in my relationship, that he was raised totally different than me. So we're not always going to agree on everything, but I do want to know what his point of view is. And we always had that long discussion before we got married on faith, family, money, kids, right? This was kind of a big deal. Even though we didn't have kids together, we had the Brady Bunch when we got married. So we didn't need to have kids together. But how were we going to be as parents? How were we going to parent? What does that look like for each one of us? What are our choices in that? How do we want to parent and be involved in the other kids' lives? So I think these conversations are important, and the more communication you have about how you feel, and the other person can talk about how they feel, the more comfortable they begin to feel safe in the relationship. And I think safety is key in a relationship as well.
Absolutely. And safe doesn't necessarily mean boring. We need safe. And there's a lot of people that, don't understand that, and they seek these exciting relationships that are really just drama and inconsistent values. What you were saying that you guys talked about are the values. What do you value? How do you want to raise your kids? And what are your thoughts on money, and how do you pay your bills, and how do you stay organized? And we don't have to be identical to somebody to have a loving relationship. Obviously, we're two individuals, but it's values are the number one most important thing to look for when you're matching up with someone or when you're dating. And most people, even if they might know that somewhere, they don't do it. They just base it on physical attraction and, you know, a lot of other kind of shallow or superficial things. And, you know, I've talked to a lot of women that when they give a guy a chance who doesn't wow them at first, they can really discover that that guy has amazing values, amazing communication. Like he might not come in like alpha male, all the girls want me, but give him a chance, because in the long run, you know, what we're talking about today is lasting love. This is more than just meeting someone and having a really wow fling. You want to really build a foundation. And I find, especially with women, that they need to give more guys a chance. There's so many women these days that just, they've come to learn that they really don't need a man. They can have a career, they can have their own place, they can even have kids on their own, they can take care of their own pets, they can take care of everything. And they're like, I don't need a man. And sure, that is true. I agree. You can absolutely be happy. And even though I'm a love coach and I love love, I am a strong believer that you're better off by yourself than in an unhealthy relationship.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's not about need. I want everyone to understand that it should never be about need. It should be about want. Because you want to be with that other person. My husband and I talked about that on the plane. He said, I'm really glad that I want to spend time with you, that I just love hanging out with you. You know what I mean? Because one of our big things is making memories and going places to make memories, which is why the last minute we decided to go down and, you know, hang out on their sailboat because it's being sold in Grenada. And I wouldn't have even looked at the map to find out where Grenada was. And it's like one of the furthest tip islands in the Caribbean, you know, way past St. Croix, St. John, you know, even further down south beyond that. I would never have gone there on vacation if we didn't have friends there. But for him and I to say, we should do this because we're going to miss out on this opportunity, and know that we have that belief together of making memories. And that is what lasts, not things. You know, things don't last for us. Making memories last. So are you in a relationship that has lasting love? Meaning, is it boring? That's what I tell people. Is it boring? Because my husband and I are always like, we live the most boringest life ever. You know, it's just so easy. That's the word I use. It's just so easy. I want my life to be easy. I'm on the second half of my life. I don't want relationships to be drama filled and hard. And I don't want it to be hard to make money. And I don't, you know, Whitney, between you and I, and, you know, the tens and thousands of listeners that are listening right now, you know, I say that secretly, but, you know, there's a lot of them out there. It's so interesting to me because it is so important to have someone else in your life that you want, because they make you feel you become a better version of yourself being around this person. This person pushes you to be better. This person gets you out of your comfort zone. You're safe with them, so you can be more of who you are. Those are like our favorite girlfriends, right? Your favorite girlfriends that you want to hang around because you can just be you. That's how your relationship should be with another person. So tell me, you know, and tell our listeners, what are, you know, some of the other keys to having lasting love? Or do you have a client, you know, that you could tell us about that found lasting love finally?
Yeah. So it's all about healthy. I think of, I just want a healthy relationship, a healthy, growing, thriving relationship. So yeah, an example of a client success story. I mean, I have my own story from horrible relationships and not being able to figure anything out all through my 20s, desperation, giving it away, not even understanding. I remember when I was really young, people saying, like, you know, you have to respect yourself. And I was like, what are you talking about? I respect myself. Shut up. Like, it was a very like defensive, immature kind of response. And to some degree I did, but didn't really understand the depth of it. And it took me having a son and not being able to work it out with his father and trying to be in relationships and dating as a single mother and doing online dating and all the crap that I know so many people right now are going through, and they're frustrated and they want to give up. It took me doing that and stepping outside of my comfort zone and looking at myself, including the shadow parts of myself that I don't lead with, that I'm not super proud of, but realizing that we need to look at our blind spots in order to fix them.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not everybody else's fault, is what she's saying, everybody. You're the common denominator. You know, when I looked at all the relationships that went bad and you blame, and you're like, wait, I'm the common denominator in all of this. I'm the one that is the reason why the relationship went where it went, right? Either I didn't want to go there, or I fought against it, or whatever, or I added, fuel to the fire, or whatever that might be. But we need to take responsibility for ourselves. And here's the thing that I learned in this past week being away, Whitney. You can do anything you want to do. I saw people live out on sailboats that did not have a lot of money. They, their sailboat was less expensive than their house. They sold all their belongings. They don't need a car anymore. And they're living their life on the water every day, loving their life. So, when I got back to the hustle and bustle, in my office and work, my husband and I work because we love it. We do what we do because we want to do it. We love to do it. So getting back to work was like, oh, I cannot wait to start seeing ladies in my tribe. I can't wait to hang out with them. I can't wait to see them on video because I missed them. But I also need that time away. That time away is important for me, in our relationship. And I tell my kids all the time with little babies, you guys need to go on week-long vacations and let us babysit. Your relationship comes first.
Yes.
And it's so crucial with young kids, especially young families. So if you're out there and you're listening to what we're saying here today, I want you to ask yourself do you love yourself? Do you love your life? And do you have lasting love, right? That's your signature coaching program. And those are the 3 questions you need to ask yourself. And if it isn't what you want, is it because you're not giving 100%? Maybe. It might not be the other person, right? It might be something that you're not giving and aren't bringing something to the relationship.
Yeah. And I've noticed that this can be really scary for people.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to face their truth. They don't want to take responsibility. It's much easier to blame everyone and everything else. And so the first thing that I want to tell anyone who feels that way is it's okay. You're not broken. You're not a horrible person. You're just human. And we don't always know how to be human. We don't always know the right things to say and the right things to do. And we all come from families that are dysfunctional to some degree. So we've all been a little bit messed up by our parents, by our family dynamics, whatever it is. It's okay. You're not alone in this. This is what everybody is going through. Few people, most people cannot name 10 happy couples that they know personally. Most people cannot name 10. I don't even know if I can. Probably pretty close because I know a lot of happy couples. And I've had some really good examples of happy couples. But yeah, we do have to take responsibility. We do have to realize that of all your relationships, both that happened and the relationships that didn't happen, the ones that got away, the ones that rejected you, the ones you rejected too soon. It's all your responsibility. But the first step is to realize I did the best I can. I forgive myself. Forgive yourself for whatever you've been through so that you can start fresh and start new. And if you're not happy in a relationship, just know that you can most likely make it better. There are relationships that just should not be, and it's better to break up. And I know that's scary too, but that's another thing that people don't realize I do as a love coach, because I do work with a matchmaking company. I'm not doing the matchmaking anymore, but my team does. So I do matchmaking, I do online dating, I help people meet, I help people come together, I help women to have the self-love and get ready to date. but I also help people going through breakups and divorce,
Mm,
because that is just an inevitable part of this process. A lot
yeah.
of times we come together and either we didn't know the whole story and it wasn't the right thing, or we grow apart, or things change. And so that's an important part too, is that no matter what you're facing, if it's scary, if you are afraid to go and try online dating, if you're afraid to have that hard conversation with your partner, or you're afraid of divorce and endings, all of these things
Mhm.
can be very scary. So just know you're not alone. There are many other people that have been through this, and you can get help. You can get a coach that will help you through it.
Yeah.
You can get someone to be there. I connect people with a lot of resources too. Like if they need legal advice, or they need something that I don't do, I'm big about connecting them. If they need a business coach, if they're really struggling in their business, I'll get them a business coach. But what I do is really helping them with the internal work, the
Mhm.
mindset, the getting over limiting beliefs, and then helping them with the steps needed
Yeah.
to date, to find someone, to get over it, to be able to handle their emotions. So
What Whitney's saying is when they need a business coach, she calls me. That's who she calls. So, Whitney, no, this is great. Everything that you're saying is so wonderful, because there isn't one piece that doesn't work without the other. They're all connected, right? So, talk to our listeners and tell them, how can they connect with you? I know we can find you at whitneylovecoach.com. And what are some other ways that we can follow you, get to know you a little bit better? I know you have a TikTok channel. Are you active on TikTok?
a little bit. Yeah, I'm just starting out with TikTok, but I'm everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn. I
Good.
think I have about 14,000 connections on LinkedIn because of my days in the corporate world. And it's sort of evolved now to
Yeah.
sharing this message about love and self-love and finding lasting love. And my name is unique, Whitney Kobrin. If you look me up anywhere,
Yeah.
you'll pretty much find me: Facebook, Instagram. But my website's a great place to start. I
Mhm.
have a downloadable free guide up there right now called 3 Shifts to Manifest Your Ideal Relationship. So it's the
Right.
3 most important things that I feel, and through my research and working with women, have really made the most impact. And you can also schedule a free consultation with me. So right now, I offer a love life strategy call where we'll talk about what's going on with you currently. What do you want? Where do you want to end up? And then how can we get you there? So I'll help you come up with a strategy. And then either you take that strategy and you make it work, great. Or if you want help, then people hire me and I help them through it.
That's
I'm
great.
also just now created an app. So it's only web-based right now, and I'm testing it out with my first group, which is the 6 week self-love challenge. And after that, I'm going to be doing a dating refresh 6 week challenge. So anyone that's sick of dating, tired of dating, feels like they should be dating, but I'm not enjoying it, that's a great program for you, because we're going to scrap everything you've done and rebuild it from scratch, from the inside out mindset, as well as the practical tips to get real dates and high quality guys. So this app, it's not available yet, but it will be soon. So if you look up Whitney Love Coach, you'll probably find it. What else? Yeah, I think that's it
Good.
right
Well,
now.
I want them to connect with you. So I want them to go to your website and download or connect with you on LinkedIn. You guys heard what she said. When, taking the leap isn't just about taking a leap in business. It's not about taking a leap and making money. We talk about taking the leap on your health. We talk about taking the leap on relationships. We talk about taking the leap for yourself. I meet more and more and more women that are from corporate America that just decided, I'm done. I'm done having this, relationship with work that I don't love anymore. So if we don't love it, we're not loving ourselves, because we're not fulfilling our fullest purpose. So I love that Whitney came out here as an entrepreneur and decided she was going to work on you finding your love, but most of all, you loving yourself and loving your life, right? And then that's how we're able to have lasting love. So Whitney, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a wonderful show. And I just want to remind all the ladies and gentlemen out there that are listening, You're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that will ever be. After what I just saw this past week, and the people that are out there living on these boats together, loving each other, they don't have to have a lot of money, y'all. They just love being in each other's company and living life together. All the boats are named something different. And my favorite was the one that was named Next Chapter. It's their next chapter in life. What are you going to do with your next chapter in life? Are you going to put up with everything you've been putting up with in your life now? Or are you going to finally have the career of your dreams, pursue your passion, and have the best love life you could ever have? I mean, I'm such a lucky person, I always say, because I do what I love to do. I love the person I want to love, and life is so easy. Bring easy into your life and have lasting love. So thank you, Whitney, again for being with us. And to all of you, we hope you have a phenomenal week and weekend. Take care. And until next time, don't forget, be you and be strong. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.